welcome back to my channel, and we have another special edition of Vibrant Chats today, and today's chat is awesome. Amy McCae, and she's a mindfulness expert. I cannot wait for you to view this chat. One thing I want to kind of say about the chat, you know, those of you that have been using Zoom, you will hopefully feel sorry for me because I forgot to set the Zoom chat so we were side by side. So what you're going to see is the video going back and forth, but you'll get the gist. I hope you enjoy this vibrant chat. Don't worry, the next time I have a vibrant chat, I'll make sure I get the images side by side. But I hope you enjoy it, and don't forget to subscribe down below so you know about upcoming videos, and be sure to check out the description box down below because I have all of Amy's information, contact information, if you want to go check her out. Have an amazing day, and I hope you enjoy our vibrant chat. Hey everyone, welcome back to another special edition Vibrant Chat. And today I have a special treat for you. I have Amy McCae. She's a mindfulness expert, and she specializes in workplace stress. And I really am excited for this chat today because we are going to be talking about mindfulness techniques that we can use during the holidays. You know, we are basically, now the holidays have begun, and you know, the holidays always bring up a lot of stress, anxiety, and tension. And I think it would be great for Amy to teach us some techniques. So Amy, welcome to Vibrant Chats.
Thank you, Leanne. I am thrilled to be here and help you guys out, and it's going to be great. Appreciate it.
Well, I hope I'm ready for our chat. I have my cup of tea. I hope you have something. Oh, good. Oh, good. You have your water. Oh, good. Well, you know, I have my tea. And I'm trying not to be blinded. You know, on this Pacific Northwest day, we actually are seeing bits of sun. So I'm being blinded by the sun a bit. So let's dive in. You know, I think a lot of people, mindfulness, we're seeing it a lot more in social media, in mainstream, but tell us, what is mindfulness, or a mindfulness practice, I guess?
Practice. So I'll begin by defining mindfulness kind of in the formal sense. I know that people often, so if I say it, usually what image comes to mind is people think that you have to be a monk, you know, you're sitting on a mountain chanting Om or something like that. And as you have suggested, it's become a lot more mainstream than that. So we now have a lot of neuroscience and such that goes along with it. And some of those people that do all these studies have defined mindfulness for us in a more traditional sense, so it's more mainstream. So that definition is basically paying attention on purpose in the present moment, non-judgmentally. Now, this could be listening, like paying attention, listening. This could be tuning into your body, to your emotions, to sensations, to breathing's a really, really common one, or, you know, easiest. It could be, you could implement it lots of different ways. Loving kindness is another practice. Gratitude, you can do eating, walking. There's a lot of different ways in which you can just bring your awareness. There's a lot of different names for it then, so we have the formal definition. But there are things, sometimes people call it emotional intelligence training, self-awareness, attention training. There's a lot of different words you could use. So I'm always suggest, if you don't like the way that word resonates with you, just choose something else. And it's more about being. That's the thing. It's more about being than doing. It's being here. And there's this equanimity piece. Remember at the beginning I said without judgment, like you're in this moment. So you're still kind of holding like peace within, even though there might be chaos around. It's finding that within and just being centered and grounded and being here and being okay with whatever. It doesn't mean you accept it. It doesn't mean it's all good. It just means that in this moment, you're okay with it and you're paying attention to whatever's going on. And it could be this open awareness. You might be paying attention to different things, but that's essentially what mindfulness.
So if that is the definition of a mindfulness practice, how would one take that a step further? What are techniques, or what are things that we can do to cultivate or create a mindfulness practice?
Yep. So you can do little things just for moments. My suggestion, if you don't have, so there's these practices you can do, and you can do them moment to moment. So that's bringing mindfulness into just your practice. Like maybe you take a breath before you send an email or a text, or maybe my thing is take the 2-minute challenge. If you don't have an actual formal meditation practice and you would like to start one, just do 2 minutes. I always say, people say, I don't have time. Well, you're always breathing. So there's always time to simply pay attention to your breath. That's one of the main ones I suggest, at least to begin with. And then something called a body scan, where you just tune into your body. You just pause and you just sense maybe from your head down, different parts, or from your feet up. Or even as simply, I get anxious in a car or before a speaking engagement or before clients or something like that. So I'll just sense my hands and feet. It helps get me in this moment, rooted, so I can make conscious decisions. That's the whole purpose, is to be able to make, more conscious decisions, to feel better and not react, respond instead of emotionally reacting.
And so it seems like, a mindfulness practice could be something that many of us are already doing an aspect of a mindfulness practice. It's just we're not calling it that.
Calling that. Yep. Sometimes I'm like, you're already paying attention on purpose. Sometimes it's that equanimity piece, though, because a lot of times we're paying attention and we're ticked off about it. Right. So there's an aspect that often gets left out, is that we're like, yeah, we're paying attention. And I deliberately put my attention or my awareness on that, but I was not happy about it. We tried to change it or something like that. And ideally, that's life, but we're just getting into a moment where we just kind of let that go for a little bit.
Exactly.
And we come back to it with more clarity.
And I think, and there's a lot of mindfulness components, like for those that may have a yoga practice or already have a meditation practice, those are forms of mindfulness, and they are kind of creating that foundation for it. But mindfulness is a little different, right? That it is something that is carried throughout your day, not just I'm practicing yoga for 60 minutes a day and then I go about my day and that's it, right?
Well, ideally, yoga, there's on the mat practice and off the mat practice. So it's kind of the same concept. Are you bringing those things that you do in meditation or you do in yoga practice? Can you bring them into your daily life? That's when life just seems a little bit easier. We're stressed. We can have things that, are stressful, but the way we deal with it's completely different if we can bring that practice, that awareness into that. And that's really a big piece of mindfulness, is this self-awareness piece of knowing, what am I thinking? What am I feeling? What's my body telling me? Am I paying attention to what's going on? Am I judging this person? Am I second guessing myself? Those are all things that you can be mindful of that help you, make different decisions.
Right. So for the average person, so for the person that's not the yogi or the person that does not have a meditation practice, that person that maybe, stuck on Zoom calls day in and day out, or having to homeschool their kids right now, or all of those other things that are happening in our lives right now. What are a few techniques, easy techniques? Because it seems like things are just going. I mean, it's just go right now. And I think it just seems like a lot of my clients, a lot of the people that I'm interacting with, is they need things right now, things that they can. So what are a few techniques or ideas that you have for those folks that they can incorporate into their everyday life?
Sure. Mindful breathing. And if you want, we can do a 2-minute mindful breathing, approximately 2 minutes mindful breathing. So I can introduce a couple aspects of mindful breathing, so you can be like, oh, mindful breathing works best for me this way, or it works best for me that way, or have them to play with and be like, I'm going to try it. I'll try it that way.
All right. So let's go through a couple techniques. So everyone watching, stop what you're doing. Stop multitasking.
Yes, stop multitasking.
And let's,
on purpose.
Yes. And so let's all pay attention, because Amy, let's go through a couple techniques. And I love the idea of a breathing technique. I love a good breathing technique.
Yeah, it's awesome. And you don't have to do it formally, but it's a good practice to get into a mindful body type position. So basically your spine is going to be erect.
Right.
but your body's relaxed, because in mindfulness, we're paying attention, but we're also relaxed at the same time. And the way I do is you don't want to be stiff. So I'll suggest, raise your shoulders up and then drop them back down. And then you'll see, see where that is.
It's just all of a sudden that, yeah, I love that. I love that.
Yeah. And then kind of sense where your feet are on the ground. And you can just rest your hands in your lap, however you like. And if you feel inclined, or it feels good to you in this moment, to close your eyes, that you can, but it isn't necessary. It helps to kind of allow your gaze to go down and find a focal point. Mm-hmm. So that's what I suggest. Sometimes people feel vulnerable. And then always remember, if you did do this for an extended period of time, sometimes feelings and emotions or things arise and it can be uncomfortable or thought. So always say, if something comes up, ask for help whenever you need it. And remember, so get in your, this posture. And remember that thoughts are perfectly normal. We're not trying to control them. The idea is more not to have an end result and not to allow them to control us. So in this position, just begin to take a couple big breaths in. Breathe in and breathe out. Maybe exhale through your mouth and inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. See if you can make the exhale just a little bit longer. Again, realizing that there'll always be thoughts or there'll be things that go on around you. You're just going to continually bring your attention back to your breathing. If you just relax in your breathing for a moment, you will notice that your awareness is going to lie either underneath your nose, at your chest, or at your belly. So just take a moment while you're inhaling and exhaling. Notice where your awareness naturally falls. Now you may use your hand and put it on your chest if that helps to control your breathing, not control it, but if it helps to help your focus. Or you may put your hand on your belly and you can sense the rise and fall. You might think to yourself a mantra such as breathe in, breathe out. Soothing yourself. Feeling more calm and peaceful. Every time your mind wanders, just bring it back to your breathing. You may hear sounds, and that's perfectly normal. There'll be distractions in life. Just again, returning to your breathing. If it helps, you can count. Noticing your breathing, you would say 1 as you inhale, exhaling to 2. Just do that until you reach 10 and then returning to 1. Inhaling and exhaling. Naturally allowing your breath to be as it is. Being in this moment just as it is. If you like, you can sense your feet get grounded and sense your knees. Notice how you rest in the chair. Sense your upper torso. Sense your head. Sensing your hands and feet. Just being in this moment. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. And that's just a brief introduction to a really quick mindful breathing and kind of start to scan your body so you sense it. But you can do that for just, put your hand on your chest and take, a couple a couple breaths. You can take, 2 minutes, use the counting part. If counting, sometimes I imagine numbers. Counting didn't work for me in the beginning. I'd get to 17 and be like, what the heck happened? So some in adolescence it seemed to work really well with, but counting now, a lot of times when I sit down and meditate, I'll count to begin with, and then I'll be able to go into a deeper, relaxed space for me. But counting's good. Using a mantra, choose one. It might be inhale, exhale, might be breathe in, breathe out, whatever. Something that calms you, soothes you, a word that resonates. Do that. And again, 1 or 2 breaths, 2 minutes, or, make it a formal practice.
Right.
It's not.
I love, just like you, I love counting and I like mantras. The mantra that I probably teach the most is inhale, I will, exhale, let go.
Let go.
I will let
your
go.
body just kind of follows suit.
It
When
does.
you say those, when you're breathing, your body just goes, okay.
Right. I love it. And it's easy. It's an easy one to do.
Easy one. And there's lots of ways you could do. Navy SEALs count. I try not to teach the controlled stuff, but there are people that prefer it. Because in mindfulness, we're not trying to control it or kind of let it. We're not even trying. We're just letting it be. But there's Navy SEALs will inhale to a count of 5, hold for 5, exhale for 5, and hold for 5. And I've had clients that prefer, I want to control it. And I'm like, if that's where you're at and that's how you get yourself centered, again, I'm not doing this with judgment. We don't want to judge practice. People, the number one question I get is, am I doing it right? I don't think I'm doing it right. I still have thoughts. Those are the things. Let that go. If you just make an attempt to breathe and pay attention to it, then you have, for lack of a better word, succeeded. So.
Right. So awesome technique. And actually I feel a little calmer.
Yeah. It only takes a couple minutes.
Right? So that being said, now that we know what mindfulness is, we have an idea of what a practice looks like, an idea of what a technique would look like. Now the big question. Okay, so when this goes live, it'll be the first part of November, which, let's be realistic, the holidays are here, right? And, for many people, the holidays are going to look a lot different this year, but in general, the holidays in any year are stressful. They can create tension, anxiety, and I'm sure you get a lot from clients and people asking you, what are some things that I can do to help with the stress, the tension, and the anxiety during the holidays?
Sure. It's a very, very good question, because it is a very valid, very, very valid problem, especially in our culture. So two things that come to mind are people having their thoughts about how things are supposed to be, or how they should do all of these things, because there's all of these events and all this shopping and all of this stuff. So if you can become self-aware enough, maybe through mindful journaling or something, about the thoughts in your mind about what it is you think you're supposed to be doing, and come to terms with what the reality is. Does it really need to be done, and what can go? Because, or why, what are those beliefs? Where do those even come from? And how would I be happier? Ask, those questions. How would I be happier if I spent my holidays? What's the pros and cons of doing this a little bit differently this year? Bring awareness to it. And in mindfulness, we want you to practice, kindness and curiosity. So if you can be compassionate with yourself and just ask a lot of questions about what's going on, then you'll find the solutions that you're looking for. So the thoughts about what you're supposed to do or how holidays look, something to look at. Then the huge problem is dealing with family, right? Like, it's people. People.
It is.
People are a big force of your stress, right? Holiday gatherings are stressful, or holiday parties, and they're going to look different this year, or they may or may not. Like, I know places that they don't really look any different, and I know places where they do. So it's coming to terms with those feelings of how, even about that, since we're living in different terms. But then your thoughts about people, like, people are going to be who they are, and that body, when you can take that body scan and do that a little bit, like do that in depth. But if you're dealing with people, the number one thing I suggest is get grounded in your body. It might start with breathing, or it might start, I shared with you earlier, I sense my hands and my feet.
Right.
That's what I
Right.
do. I sit my hands and my feet. So if you can do that, other people's stuff, you can, it's almost like you kind of separate yourself from all their whatever. If you just are like, I'm breathing, I'm in my body, I'm sensing my hands and feet, it's going to allow you to not make those impulsive sort of like, this person's irritating me.
Right.
Right? I'm mad.
Right.
I'm mad. And then inquire within while you're sitting there. Be like, what is it I'm feeling? Do I have an emotion to this? And why am I, like, what is going on? It's, again, that kindness and curiosity. I'm going to sit here with myself, and I'm not going to judge myself or these crazy people for like judging, right?
Right.
You know,
Right.
I'm not going to do that. I'm going to say, what's going on with me? What is it I'm feeling? And why am I feeling, you know, okay, I'm mad, or I'm irritated, or I think these people are whatever. Why is that? And what is it? And can I be kinder to them and to myself about that experience? And that could be a holiday party or family parties. But those are two things that I think are big when it comes to people, are, you know, dealing with people and then dealing about our thoughts of all the to-do things.
Right.
Let's get real about what we can do about people. I mean, what do you have control over? Choose what you have control over.
Right.
Right.
Now, given, you know, the holidays, and you just showed us like kind of like a 2-minute timeout kind of a thing, would you recommend people doing that, making sure that they are giving
absolutely.
themselves conscious time out throughout the day?
Yeah, I have a Post-it note that has, well, it's in my file because I just cleaned off my laptop, but I have one of them is here that says drink water and inhale and exhale. That's one of mine. It's on mine.
It's your reminder.
My reminder, and it's on my laptop. And then I have,
Right.
It's a different yellow one, and it's in a folder over here, but it says, I say kind things to myself. It says, may I be at ease, may I be at peace, may I be well, may I be loved. And I just have like 6 things that are, and it's that may I, because it's not that you need to be, it's not this forced whatever. Right. It's just asking for that energy to come to me. So I put that on my laptop too. But if you're not at a desk or wherever, put a Post-it note, put it on your mirror, on whatever it is you look at daily, put it there, your refrigerator, put it there. And it's just that reminder to be like kind and to be curious and to be loving and peaceful. And nobody does it. Remember, nobody does it perfectly. I teach it and I don't do it perfectly.
Exactly. Because you're human.
Yeah, I'm human. Just do like giving forgiveness. That's a big part too. I always teach this awareness, acceptance, attitude, action, and acknowledgement. And in there is forgiveness and surrender. And that's kind of what we have to do, you know, to people and to ourselves during the holiday time, if we can practice.
Right. You know, one thing that it's, you know, it's kind of funny, but it is so true. I do teach a lot of times to clients and recommend to clients that if you find yourself in a triggering situation that triggers stress, tension, and whatnot, is a very similar technique to your breathing 2-minute timeout. And I say, literally take yourself out of the situation. And they're like, well, where the hell am I supposed to go if I'm at a family dinner? I'm like, I go the one space, the one room, no matter the situation, no matter where you are, if you're at work, at the mall, at someone's house, no one will follow you in the bathroom.
Right.
Go in the bathroom, shut and lock the door.
Yeah, and just sit there for a minute.
And then and who cares if you're in there for 3 to 5 minutes? Let them all think.
Whatever. Right?
All they know is you're going to come out a lot calmer.
There's some really cool science on how you're rewiring your brain. I won't go into detail here, but how that you're actually rewiring your brain to, instead of being reactive from your amygdala, that part of your stress part of your brain, you actually are retraining your brain to use your prefrontal cortex. So you make, instead of emotionally charged decisions, conscious choices. So it's a practice, but it's that knowing I need to take a time out. And that comes with practice. Like, okay, so we start practicing taking a breath here and there, practicing 2 minutes here and there. And then that sort of like just kind of goes with you. Again, not perfectly all the time, but it's easier. It becomes more of a natural thing where, like, I don't do it all the time because I'm human, but I'm more likely to just stop and like not, if I'm mad, I'm more likely to just be quiet and not say anything. I'm just going to take a time out. And sometimes it takes a while for me to figure out what it is I was feeling and then come to it. And again, sometimes you might need to have those conversations with people, maybe not at the holidays, but maybe you'll realize oh, this is why I'm upset about this. So now I know that I need to go have a mindful conversation. This is what's going on.
Right, right. So now the takeaway everyone's going to take from this is, oh, I can spend the whole holidays in the bathroom having quiet time.
Well, you know, I don't know if you have children, but as a mother, I tell you what, I have locked myself in the bathroom a few times. So yeah.
It's like, mommy just needs a timeout.
Yeah. I've locked myself in my car. I'm like, everybody's safe, so I'm going to go hide so that I can like be a, you know, the kind of parent. And then it's all right. I think we think in the holidays too. I'm like, are people taking timeouts? No, like it's okay to take a timeout. And why would you think it's
why?
You
Yeah,
know?
give yourself permission to take care of yourself. Give yourself permission to put yourself first.
Holidays should be more about that. Like there's all these things that it should be more about how do we just do self-care for everybody, for ourselves, and how do we ensure that everybody else has self-care?
Right. Stop trying to come up with those Rockwell moments, that vision that, you know, nothing is perfect. So why, you know.
Last year I bought this really crappy Christmas tree. I have one and it's pretty, but it's big and it takes work. And so last year I'm like, I'm going to Walmart and buy me a $20 tree and that's it. And it was, and I only put up like half the decorations and nobody cared. Like
no one cares.
Nobody cared. It was,
no one even noticed. Yes.
Yeah, it was in my head about it. So being able to be like, what's the reality here? And again, it was asking myself questions and being kind and being curious, being like, I'm okay with it. And I was like, look at it. Nobody even cares.
Yeah. No one probably even noticed. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, exactly. And you're like, oh, well, this has been absolutely wonderful, Amy. I just thank you so much. Well, first of all, thank you so much for coming on and chatting. I've learned a lot, and I hope everyone else that watched really got some tips. And I really do hope people take these tips to heart because, you know, you and I know they work. You and I know their value. And the reason why, and there was a really good reason I wanted you to teach this for the holidays. And it's as a stepping stone going forward. And what I will do is if people want to learn more about you and your practice, if they want to learn more about workplace management, working through mindfulness, everyone, I'll make sure I have Amy's contact and information down in the description box. And you are more than welcome to reach out with her. Actually, I highly encourage you to reach out to Amy. So, Amy, thank you so much for being here today.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate it. It's lovely to actually just sit and chit chat.
I know.
Good thing we have this. Nice to connect with like-minded people as well, trying to do good things and help people. Awesome.
Because we're all in the same boat. We're all just trying to help people be their best selves.
Yeah, feel their best and yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Amy. And I hope you have a great day. And I hope everyone else has a great day. Bye.